Sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words can break my heart.
You little stinky girl. What'd you just call her? Stinky girl.
I was bullied, yes, as a child.
Sorry. Stupid little girl.
In this programme, we will look at how to spot the sometimes subtle and complex ways that girls bully girls.
I like your, where you got going? See you later.
We'll see how bullying has evolved in the age of the mobile phone and the internet.
So the bullying can occur out of school hours as well.
And show how those who bully can be overcome, not by authoritarian intervention, but by their peers taking control.
You actually need to go to the root of the problem, which is usually the bully, and speak to them about why they were bullying that person.
Hey Chelsea, man, you are so rubbish, they're losing so badly. Push me, man.
Until fairly recently, bullying was seen as largely a boy thing. Fists flew in order to establish a recognised pecking order. But girls' bullying can be even more harmful, as director of bullying charity Michelle Elliott knows better than most.
In the past, we've thought that girls bullying other girls was just a rite of passage. It would just, it was minor. We know now that the hurt that it causes the victim can be lifelong, and we ignore it at our peril.
20 years ago, Val Bisag was perhaps the first educationalist to realise girl bullies can cause lifetime damage, with as many as 75% of women saying that they were bullied at school. Today she's visiting Princess May Primary to help the older children recognise different forms of bullying.
Give this person a name, a boy or a girl?
Frank.
Frank. OK, Frank. Here's Frank. Each one of you say something horrid to Frank.
Your brain's so small, it's the size of a peanut.
You look so ugly. When you were born, the doctor fainted.
When the doctor saw you fainted?
You're so dumb. You're skinny.
When people say nasty things to you, sometimes we say, it tears me apart, it rips me up.
For Val, it's girls bullying girls that require special attention and understanding.
Girl bullying is more difficult for girls to cope with because a boy using his feet and fists and his physical prowess wants to show off his power in front of his friends. He may not know the boy, may not know the boy's name, he may go to a different school. As long as he can make a fool of the boy or show his dominance, that's fine. But with girls, their rationale is very different. And it's usually within the friendship group, within the class, certainly within girls they know. And so it makes it very difficult for the target to get out of the bullying. They are trapped in the relationship that's already ongoing.
I think boys use more pushing and shoving, whereas girls use gossip and talking.
As young as 6, girls have already noticed gender plays a part in the way bullies operate.
I think girls are different than boys because they don't really do what boys do, because girls just really say, I'm not your friend anymore.
Boys fight a lot, but girls don't. They just call each other names, and that's just picking on them.
Some Calverton pupils will move on to all-girls secondaries, and such schools occasionally can provide a bully with the perfect fodder. Walthamstow School for Girls head Rachel McFarlane recognises the dangers.
Boys are much better at forgiving and forgetting and moving on, and girls will very often get into a situation where there's been some name calling or ill feeling, and maybe somebody's tried to intervene to resolve it, but then it festers or it resurfaces, or a chance remark can cause an old score to quickly kind of come to the fore again.
The kind of bullying that we find ourselves dealing with is usually fairly low-key, thankfully. It usually is about name-calling.
You have the spreading of rumours, malicious gossip, which can really affect a child's self-esteem. There is also the negative body language, the staring at one another, giving very hostile looks, again, which children can find very threatening.
There's no doubt that two of schoolgirl bullies' biggest weapons are rumour and gossip.
Oh, here comes Lola.
Do you know she's been eyeing up your boyfriend?
I know.
What are you talking about?
Why have you been with my boyfriend?
I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
Why are you lying for?
Why would you believe that?
Because it's you. Can you believe her?
Do you know, she's such a slut. She's been with the science teacher as well.
Which one?
Mr. Smith.
No, she hasn't.
It's true.
Oh my God.
I think girls have been born with a rumour and gossip gene. The bullies use it to great advantage. And they start rumours about victims, they gossip about them. It's all untrue, but it all causes great pain to the victim.
Rumour is our worst enemy. And all of a sudden, from one small rumour, you end up with 2 army camps and they're ready to start a war.
It just makes me feel sad and lonely.
Believing that traditional anti-bullying methods are failing, schools are now turning to peer mentoring, and also to teaching pupils on the periphery how to stand up to bullies rather than be complicit bystanders.
It's better if pupils get involved because it's easier for them to relate. Like, I'm not saying that adults are never children, but they weren't children in our times with our sort of problems.
As a preventative exercise with Year 5 pupils at Calverton Primary, teaching mentor Nina Gill focuses on the perils of spreading rumours.
It's not always a good thing at all to listen to rumours, because rumours can actually be very upsetting for the person who the rumours are about. And that's one of the things that we're going to explore now. We're going to just look at what damage rumours might cause.
I think you shouldn't listen to rumours and whispering because it can lead into bullying.
Rumours can make damage because they could hurt somebody else's feelings and then they might do something bad to themselves.
A dramatic visual way of illustrating the rapid and insidious spread of a rumour is illustrated by Val Bisag.
Now you can see the clear water. Now if one person in the class is nasty and says nasty things and leaves people out, and what do you think will happen? Just one little drop, that's it. What happens with just a little drop of paint? What happens?
The nastiness spreads around.
Can you see how just one little word here and there can really spoil the whole class?
You can't really stop it because you can't stop other people from talking, but like I try not to like get into it and like pass on the gossip.
In many primary and secondary schools, the classroom dynamic is being changed to stop bullying. Actress Becca Morden visits schools to encourage students to think about the different roles they can play when faced by bullying.
I want you to freeze as a character in a photograph, okay? And the character, don't think about it too hard. You are going to be cast as the victim when I clap my hands. That's nice. Everyone's just going a little bit sunken. Okay, keep moving around. This time, let's see what you think a bully looks like when I clap. Use your eyes, keep the facial expressions, have a little look around at each other. Lovely. Keep moving again. Last one, keep that space filled. And this time, I want to be able to look around the space when I freeze you and see if you're a witness, if you're a bystander. If you're a bystander, do you like what you're bystanding and seeing? And now give me a really, really clear picture. This is nice. It's a real mixture of contemplation, shock and awe, and some real enjoyment as well of what's going on.
There are lots of ways to address bullying. And the main way of bringing about change is to work with what we call the bystanders. And if you're standing watching, you are really helping the bully, you're aiding the bully, because the bully likes the audience.
To explain the role of the bystander, Becker encourages a group to form a tableau depicting a bullying incident, while the rest of the class is asked to decipher the scene.
I'm not quite sure, but they look like they're witnesses, but also the facial expressions help you to like see that they're quite upset about what's happening.
She seems to be enjoying it rather than being
Yeah.
upset about it and not wanting to step in.
Yeah.
She's quite enjoying it.
Yes, I think you're right. We've got two different kinds of bystander there, haven't we? We've got our bystander who stands back because they're a bit anxious, doesn't know what to do, and we've got a bystander who's actually quite getting off on the whole thing. I want someone who will volunteer to direct the two bystanders there to change the scene.
The person that's a bit more kind of not sure about what's going on, she doesn't feel happy with it. I think she should be trying to walk a bit more forwards, and then the other person pulling her back a bit more.
Would you mind trying that out for us, girls? So it looks definitely, it's a different story, isn't it? It's moved forward. Do we think there's still going to be a happy ending for the victim here, or is it still looking a bit bad?
One of them could like maybe actually like go to the victim and like try and like pull her back or push the bullies away.
Hey, that's great. And the other one just not get involved at all. I feel a lot less worried about the victim now. How about you guys?
I think what Becca was trying to do was to get people from a position of an outsider to empathise with different characters in the different scenarios, and to be able to think about, you know, what makes somebody bully and what makes somebody act as a bystander as opposed to a witness, or a witness as opposed to a bystander. And also just to think in a very upbeat way that bullying is not something that we just have to tolerate and accept, but very quickly and easily one can intervene to make the situation a positive one and to bring about a resolution. So I thought it was very interesting the way she asked the audience to take the role of director, and just with a couple of concise instructions completely changed the atmosphere of the tableau.
Becker then asked the girls to write and perform a 1-minute scene showing a bullying incident which ends in a positive outcome.
Oh, you have to be hiding. Oh, do the fighting scene. Do the fighting scene. Do Mr. Jackson. Yeah. You're gonna be there. So you do that. Go on, check him. We got to do it at the same time, not.
Can I give you 1 more minute? Will you be done? Is that okay? Be wrapped up? And you've got your positive outcome or some kind of witness intervention with you? Excellent, well done. Nice eyeshadow.
Thank you.
Lovely.
You little stinky girl. What do you just call her? Stinky girl. She's my friend, you know, back off. Oh, whatever. Can you please leave her alone because she's not doing anything wrong to you? Can you just... Shut up. Amy, let's go. No. See, back off. Oh, whatever.
I think the students will have been interested to have a drama session focused specifically on the issue of bullying. I think they'll have found those drama techniques really helpful as a way of getting them to empathise with people in all situations in a bullying scenario.
At Princess May Primary, head teacher Stephen Spooner thinks girls can be given the tools to combat bullying.
I think very often that the bullying can be resolved by the children themselves with the support of peers or the learning mentor.